Yo, 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 what's going on? This is the NRW, where nerds rule the world. It's your boy, Kuya P, and I'm here with a checkpoint squad, Brian Saff, Webster style. Give you another infamous trailer reaction. A classic is Martin. And if you haven't seen or heard that BET Plus is giving us a reunion, then we're about to let y'all know, because, man, y'all should know, because it's a classic, man. I'm happy to see this happening. Did y'all hear about this?
I did hear about it.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Yeah.
And BET Plus, or
they might
BET
get my money
in general.
Just to watch it. They might get my money.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
I might have to pay for this.
Yeah.
Right. And BET, they've been doing a solid job of keeping up with what the culture has been saying about their content or whatever. So I'm glad that they was like, you know what? They'll probably like this one, because I'm tuned in. I'm ready to watch this.
All right, so let's check out this trailer and we'll talk all about our feelings about Martin, the reunion. Here we go.
Martin, the reunion. Action.
This one's for you, Tommy.
Tommy?
You're so crazy.
For the first time in 30 years.
30 years? Wow. Oh, yeah, because
I feel so old, bro.
I know, man.
TV's most iconic cast.
I'm so glad they put that shit aside.
For real.
Is back together.
Let's go, let's go.
What? Iconic, man.
GTD stand for?
Get the drums.
An event to celebrate.
I was in the moment. We were in the moment.
Freaking brilliant.
A legacy to cherish.
It's pure testament to our hard work.
A reunion to remember.
We would
This
watch
is gonna
the
be
show
great.
more than we would make music.
And why are they putting stuff over the trailer right now?
And still is big.
Whoever uploaded the video,
There'd
they
be
did
a
it
Martin
too.
reboot. I mean, the people want to know.
Martin the Reunion, streaming June
reboot?
16th on BET Plus.
I got to get my BT.
Come on, bro, man, from the fifth floor. Yes. From the fifth floor, goddamn.
I got questions. So it's the reunion, but are we getting is just going to be a series of reunion episodes, conversations?
I think it's more conversations.
Yeah.
That whole reboot thing, I've heard them publicly state, especially Tisha Campbell, and I forget the actress that plays Pam off the top of my head. They've stated that there wouldn't be a reboot because there's no Tommy. Of course, that was said in the past.
Yeah.
Now, who knows what? But this is what I'm thinking. I'm surprised at this. But one, I'm surprised, and then two, I'll lead into another point with this. One, I'm excited at this. BT may actually get my money for BT Plus for a month just to watch this. But I'm surprised that it's BET doing this and not Fox.
True.
Because Fox, look, I don't care what y'all think. Fox became Fox because of black sitcoms. Straight up. Okay. Martin, Living Single, that,
Living Color.
And then The Simpsons, Living Color.
Yeah.
All that put Fox on the map in the 90s. And the fact that Fox wasn't the one that was doing this it's a travesty in my opinion. Now, obviously, I understand. And who owns? I think Warner Brothers owns Martin.
I'm not sure because for a long time Martin was on HBO.
Yeah. I think like Warner Brothers
might have bought the
I think like Warner Casey or whatever did it back in the day, like same as Cosby, and I think Fresh Prince, I know all is under the Warner Brothers banner. So I think I may be wrong at that. So with that, I know Fox doesn't own the rights, but it's one of the legacy shows that really helped define what Fox was, like just like Married with Children, even though it's not a black sitcom, like Married with Children, Martin, Living Single, like those were Living Color. Those were the standout shows from the 90s that everybody, like Brian and I was talking offline about, like must-see TV, destination appointment TV.
Yeah.
You knew where you were on Thursday nights when Martin came on. I think it was Thursday. Like when Living Single came on, you knew where you were Saturday nights or Sunday nights or Monday nights when they switched around Married with Children. Like in Living Color, Sunday nights. That and The Simpsons, you knew where you were before it was Thursday when they wanted to kill Cosby. Like you knew where you were. And that sort of appointment television is gone.
That's the word I was like, appointment television.
Yeah.
What it was.
And It's sad that because I agree with you. Those Fox is the one that kind of not opened the door, but those sitcoms are what brought Fox to its prominence.
Oh yeah, definitely.
As far as being a network television or a network that people want to tune in, because outside of these black sitcoms, like there wasn't really much happening on Fox that was like pulling the people in. But I would have to imagine that there was some issue with Fox, because like I said, Martin ended up on HBO for quite some time. I think isn't HBO where Martin like ended its run? Like,
well, no, it was a You Go Boy Production Companies, which was an HBO independent production.
That's what.
So it's always been with HBO.
So it's still Warner Brothers.
The network was Fox, and Warner Brothers was its distributor as well.
So why is it on BET
HBO
Plus?
Warner owned it, but they
because it
put it on
syndication.
Because that's what the audience is. The audience is on BET Plus. And let's be frank, the audience isn't going to HBO Max to watch this.
I mean, we might, because that's where the Will Smith thing, the Fresh Prince was, right?
Yeah, but let's be frank, Will Smith is more
commercial,
but cross demographics.
Right.
Be realistic, and it's no disrespect. It's just that being on NBC compared to a Fox, they had a different, a wider demographic compared to Fox. And let's be frank, Fox, especially those nights, that was predominantly minority households and demographics that were watching those shows. And I'm not saying you didn't have cross demographics there, but you definitely had a majority. Let's think, even New York Undercover, like those shows were aimed toward minority audiences. So yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess I could see it being on BET though, just because Martin plays on BET now.
Right.
They have syndication over there. And then they've given Tashina Arnold and Tisha Campbell plenty of opportunities over there. They host the Soul Train Awards almost every year. Like they've been doing a lot of good stuff with them, and I don't know, I feel like it fits. Like if this was Fox coming out, like Fox Soul, we're gonna be putting the Martin reunion over here on the Fox Soul YouTube channel, I'd be like, come on now, we can.
I was about to say, is that really a channel? I thought it was just like a bunch of shows that look like it's on YouTube.
Well, I mean, it's shows that people are watching. It's more of a YouTube channel thing or whatever, but it's definitely a property that people are paying attention to. There's a bunch of shows over there on Fox Soul that people have been I don't know, commenting on. Like they have the Queen show with Vivica Fox and who's the other ladies on there, Lisa Ray and stuff like that. They have
it's all trash though. It's all trash.
I mean,
it
I don't
really
know.
is.
They trying something different, and they trying to go back to their roots and get black content over on Fox. So I'm
do it well though. They got a bunch of YouTube shows, and no disrespect to YouTube shows, but they're YouTubers who do it better than the way they do it.
That's also true, because they still haven't went into the studio for a lot of these shows. They're still doing Zoom calls and stuff like that. And it's like, I get it. Y'all in different parts of the world making money, doing your thing or whatever. But it's like, this is Fox now. Like we YouTubers, those they have a network behind them.
Let me be frank. This should have been outside of BET Plus. Now, I just totally understand why I was on BET Plus. This should have been on Fox. This should have been a big special that Fox hyped up.
Yeah, they should.
That's the way I feel about it.
They should be having some involvement with it.
Yeah, they really should be, because Martin is one of those shows that help make that network. Like straight up. They look, without Martin, without Living Single, without Married with Children, really without Living Color, even though Living Color didn't last as long as the others, there is no Fox. And let's be honest, there is no Fox. Fox wasn't an all-week network at first. It was just on the weekends. And then they expanded. Wow. And shows like this help them expand into the mainstream and the public consciousness, particularly in the minority demographics of the country, which is where they got the viewership. Because at that time, the major networks, ABC, NBC, CBS, did not have any sort of content that appealed to those sort of demographics. And without them, without us, Fox wouldn't be where it is today. And that's just the way I feel about it.
I
It's not the
agree.
way I feel about it. That's the God honest truth. And you look at the numbers, you look at those shows, you look at the ratings for those shows, not just that. You look at, and I say particularly with like people like myself and Kriya of those age groups, culturally speaking, that's what defined a lot of our TV viewing back then when we were in middle school and high school. Like that's what we watched because that's where we saw ourselves. We didn't see ourselves anywhere else. And Martin is one of those shows where you look back now, you see ourselves. And again, no, this was back to a different world because this different world is like one of the two, that and the Cosby Show, the two shows where people of color saw themselves and saw different versions of themselves on network television outside of Fox. Like, think about it. Can you really remember any big time shows that featured people of color, primary casts that were ABC or NBC or CBS at that time? They might have existed, but they were here and there. Fox went all out. Like, I was just remembering something and thought about Rock and the fact that no other network would have let Charles Dutton do a TV show and do the second season completely live and to have it about a middle-class Black family in Baltimore. And he's a trash man dealing with no other network would have allowed those things to happen back then. But I'm from Baltimore. That was where I lived. I totally got that back in the day. And that's why shows like Martin are so relevant today, because they was such a glimpse. They provide such a glimpse into the culture back then, more so than, look, if you're watching this and you empathize with what we're saying, we all know that Friends is just a lightened version of In Living Color and a bland version of A Living Color. And culturally speaking, Friends is our top 100 show from ratings wise.
Yeah, they stole the concept from Living Single.
But think about, you look at Friends from a cultural perspective. How did that speak on the culture of that time? Like, it was, I hate to, this is going to be really generic, but it was bland like mayonnaise. And I don't mean that because it was a very Caucasian dominated show, but from a cultural aspect, when you look back on it, it's not really a window into maybe a window into 90s, but there's nothing that sticks out culture. You look at it in Living Single, there's culture, there's maybe, pun intended, there's flavor there. There is a glimpse into, educated African Americans and people of color who are striving, who are trying to make change. And that resonates even till today. And even with Martin, he was a radio DJ. And mind you, maybe that doesn't translate well into our, social media dominated world, but he had a girlfriend and friends. He had all of these different wacky scenarios, but still there was very much a cultural aspect of it that still resonates with our world today, that I would say, again, no disrespect to Friends. If you like Friends, you like Friends. I never found the show funny, personally speaking. I've watched it several times. But from a cultural aspect, it never spoke to me, and it never showed anything about the world I lived in. Martin did. And I think that's where it really resonates with people, not just in my age group, even like with yourself, Brian. Like we got about 10, 13 years on you. And you still see that show, and it resonates with you and your background, and your upbringing, and your family and friends. That culture is still very much connected. I don't see those sort of conversations with, again, I hate to beat on Friends. You don't see that with Friends in that context. You see it as this great show, the show that people love, but where was the culture surrounding Friends? Where was the mirror on culture that Friends was supposed to be? It wasn't.
Yeah.
Shows like Living Single, shows like Martin were mirrors of the culture. Then even, again, different network, but A Different World, in my opinion, is one of the best, especially after season 2, best sitcoms ever. So many cats went to HBCUs because of it. I didn't necessarily go because of it, but that was definitely in the back of my mind as far as why I went to an HBCU, and that culture and what it was and how accurate it was depicting that HBCU college life as a representation of the culture, which is why these shows are still very much part of the zeitgeist today. Different World, Martin, people who are 20, 25 years younger than me are watching these shows and finding themselves in these shows, whereas Friends, because it's so dated of being that early 90s, early mid 90s, people, the younger generation, they're not going to see themselves like that. People our age who are of that ilk will see themselves, but it doesn't resonate like these shows do today. So I am excited for this. I'm sorry I'm a bit long-winded, but I'm very passionate about just the culture and what a lot of these shows represent to us, culturally speaking, because yeah, we have a lot today, but there was just something about that time period when we did get a voice, when we did get shows that correctly emulated the culture that we lived in, that just were just a touchstone for us to move forward and even to go into things like being YouTube creators, going into our fandoms, you know, going to HBCUs. Like all these things were such a motivator for us and our generation to really do things differently. And I can't say that you hear that when Friends is talked about.
I wouldn't know. I'm not on that side of the table. But I'm excited for this Martin reunion just because I feel like it needs to happen. And I want to see the show being relived through the eyes and ears of the cast. Like I said, we got Martin, we have Tashina Arnold coming back, we have Tisha Campbell coming back. Don't have to say to Martin anymore because she did exit. But we even got, what's the gentleman's name that plays Cole? He's back. I'm really excited to see them like sit and relive all of these moments. As you know, or you should know anyway, based on the way Martin kind of played out, there was obviously a lot of behind the scenes things that happened, not necessarily on the negative side, because we know about the beef and stuff, but I mean just about the positive things like the outtakes and the bloopers and stuff like that. I want to understand more about that side of the production, because that in itself was kind of like a little TV show when they had those little moments in between seasons or whatever, where they gave us insight onto what's going on the production side or whatever, and how many times Martin had to re-say a line because everybody couldn't stop laughing, or how many times, you know, Tisha Campbell messed up a line. Like, I want to get more acquainted with that, more familiar with it. And I feel like this is going to be a good opportunity for them to showcase that and really give us a complete, like, just overall closing of the chapter of Martin and refreshing the series at the same time. Because like I said, it still plays on BET.
Right.
So
Anthony Payne II was Cole.
Oh, yes.
I hope Garrett Morris shows up.
Yeah.
I think that would be really awesome. I don't think he gets enough love, generally speaking, just from the community, as far as a sort of trailblazer in comedy he has been. You know, he was the first, the original SNL member, the only Black SNL member of the original cast. He's just had so many great roles over the years, and I just don't think he gets enough love. And one of the things I know, they purposely sought him for Martin when they did Martin, because of SNL and all the things he's done. So I'm hoping that, and he's still funny as hell. Yeah. You see him, I think he's I forgot that show that was on NBC about the Black folks that drink wine. I forget what it was. I don't know. I didn't find it funny, but I found him funny.
Grand Crew.
He's like
all right.
Yeah, the cat at the beginning of the show talking about everything. Yeah, like he's funny. I didn't find Grand Crew funny when I watched it a couple episodes. Again, that's just my taste in humor.
Yeah, it's all right.
But yeah, I hope they give him some flowers on this show. I'm very excited because there are a few people from the show that I'm curious to see what they're doing.
Same.
You know, there's various cast, minor characters mostly. You know, the principals, like we pretty much know what they've been doing for the past few years. But I'm very interested to see that. And also, even what Brian was saying as far as production, I'm interested in hearing Martin really talk in depth about, you know, playing Otis, playing Shanae, playing all these other characters. Because, you know, you've heard sort of bits and pieces over the years, but I don't know if I've ever heard a full interview in that sort of setting of him talking about that and the process and the impact as well.
Yeah, because that was iconic just in itself. Like, him transforming to all of these different characters, the little kid with the snotty nose. And
yes.
yeah, of course we had Shanae and Otis, motherfucking what was the oh wait, Otis was the pimp from the Himalayas. Such a great show, man.
Yeah,
I really miss it. Yeah,
classics, iconic characters.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm with it, man. It's such a for people of color, us of color.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was the real people's champ, other than like making
Jerome.
the Friends be the one because they got the money. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real. You know, that's why it keeps on getting blasted, because they but it ain't what we were really watching. You know, so anyway, I don't want to beat it anymore.
Let me say this real quick, and I want to make this specifically known. I use people of color instead of Black people because one thing about POCs, we watch all of us on TV.
Yes,
regardless of if it's a Asian American dominated cast, Latino dominated cast, African American dominated cast, because there's a commonality in all of our stories, regardless of the cultural differences.
Right.
There's something we all can resonate with. And again, not saying those that aren't of color can't, but there's something inherently unique about the experience of people of color, particularly in the United States, where there's there's a bond between all of us. So when we see shows like this, we see ourselves, even if I'm not Filipino or I'm not Latino and I don't have that. There are culturally speaking common threads through all of us, which we see in shows like this, which is why we all can get behind shows like this.
Yeah. And a lot of times
that's why I claim it.
right. And a lot of times that bond is our cultures and our people trying to achieve this quote unquote American dream in a in America, where it's not necessarily a dream that was set up for us to achieve in the first place. So it's always great to see, especially a multi-racial cast come together. But even if it's not, even if it's a predominantly Black show, you're still going to get those one-offs where it's like, these people are around us. Like, there are Filipino people in the Black neighborhoods. There are Asian people in the Black neighborhoods. Like, there's always going to be a melting pot within these neighborhoods that are specifically designated or lived in by people of color. So our TV usually reflects that. And it's a moment for us to come together, because sometimes it's not always solidarity. Like, we have issues, like, it just is what it is. But I really appreciate that they are taking the time to just say, you know what, Martin deserves a reunion. You know what I'm saying? The beef has been squashed between, Tisha and Martin and all that other stuff. And now they're in a good place. They can come together, do this reunion. We've seen the trailer. There was a question asked about a reboot. I know, Webster, you've broken down, and they pretty much said no reboot is possible without Tommy. What happened?
That was then, money talks. So
that
might have changed.
They'll see how successful this is once it's
that too. Mm-hmm.
You're right. And like we talked about off camera or whatever, with Tyler Perry being so instrumental in BET and BET Plus, I'm quite sure he would have no problem putting, a nice check behind him. I'm pretty sure he would have no problem doing that, because you could argue that his characters were, made possible by the work that Martin did on his show.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's
so it's like
one of the things. Yeah, you see that, you know that, and obviously there's a long standing sort of tradition of that sort of character, especially with African American comedians. But there was a definite influence in how Martin did, and you definitely see it with what Tyler's done with Medea.
Right.
And I'll say more Martin and Flip Wilson than anybody else, as far as definitely seeing inspiration in Medea and how Tyler has portrayed Medea over the years.
Right. So if anybody should be behind this, it should definitely be Tyler and BET. And as you can see, it's going to be on BET Plus, and I'm excited because I'm ready.
You'll be getting my $5.99 for that month to watch it, because I will pay them for that.
Yeah, I'm watching this now. My only gripe, right? BET Plus, come to the table. We need you to just, give us some kind of lowerage of the BET Plus pricing, because $14.99 seems a little steep.
I mean, how much is it?
It's $14.99. It is $14.99 per month for BET Plus. And while I understand that this is the culture, you know what I'm saying, I don't mind, I guess, paying the money or whatever to watch the special. I would like to continue to purchase BET Plus just at a price that makes sense. So if you need to add ads into, you know, BET Plus, I'm fine with that. I'm pretty sure Tyler wouldn't mind because, you know, he got Netflix deals and stuff now. Like, just put some ads in there, lower the tier prices or whatever the price is, because that $14.99, that's steep.
Brian,
Steep.
I believe it's $9.99, but it's still too high.
Oh, okay. So they put it $9.99. That's fine. Okay.
It's still too high for BET Plus. I'm sorry.
Even still.
Dear Paramount, you have Paramount Plus. Roll in all your other streaming services into Paramount Plus. When I do start paying for Paramount Plus, I'll pay like $5 extra to add in BET Plus and Showtime, because you already got content from both of those networks on Paramount Plus.
The game is over there. The reboot for the game is on Paramount.
We've talked about streaming strategies before. I don't get Paramount's strategy or Viacom strategy. Have everything under one roof. That's what Warner Brothers Discovery Warner is going to do, merging Discovery Plus and HBO Max to a bundle. Paramount needs to do the same thing, because there's no reason.
I'd appreciate
do like Disney's doing with the streaming bundle. Everything should be consolidated. If you got multiple streaming services, you're doing a disservice to your customer. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but if we're gonna keep it on BET Plus, just, you know, be fair about the pricing.
I don't know about $10 though. Look,
I mean,
if Disney Plus is $7.99 a month.
Which I'm not even paying $7.99. I don't think. I think I'm still at $5.
Paramount is $5.99 a month for the lowest tier, I think. There's no reason BET Plus is worth $10 a month, considering what they offer that I would want to watch compared to these other services.
It's mostly, you know, syndicated black television
and Tyler Perry
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you look at the own network. Tyler Perry has plenty over there as well. So like he can let us get $5 on BET.
$10 a month for Steve BET Plus. I will think about it though when the special comes out.
Definitely, because I'm gonna watch it. So you're gonna get me for 1 month at least.
Yeah.
Because I'm definitely watching this motherfucking Martin reunion. I want to see Jerome in the house. I want to see all of the clips that you guys pull together and do, like, talk to us about this moment. I even like is that Afion Crockett that is the host?
Yes.
I like him as a comedian. I'm excited to hear what he has to ask the cast, being that he's a comedian himself, coming up out of that same era that Martin was on television. Like, I'm excited for the whole program as a whole. Like, it's gonna be a good trip down memory lane for myself personally.
All right, so there we go. Let us know in the comments how you feeling about the reunion, all that conversation, whether or not you're going to pay for BET Plus. Let us know. All I know is we're happy to see it.
Yes, very, very happy.
The moment of time, a moment of history that we hold so fondly. But yeah. So let us know as well in the comments whether you're checking out Webster Style. How can the people reach out to you and or get you a BET Plus subscription?
On that, it looks like they have a 7-day free trial, so it looks like we back in the money.
But when the reunion comes out,
right? Exactly. But you can find me, Webster Style, the man, the voice of fragrance, everything and anything that is Webster Style. You can find that at websterstyle.com.
All right, and Brian Saff.
At Brian Saff, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, if you're into that sort of application. Talk and Play Blurrycast, wherever you listen to podcasts, and then the NRW Checkpoint right here on the Nerds Rule the World YouTube channel.
There you go. And for me, it's the Legend Kuya P on Twitter, TikTok, and IG. Of course, Show Pout Show, API Tour Heroes, and here with Brian Saff and Webster Style at the NRW and at the Release Wednesday, where nerds rule the world. Hit us up in the comments. Let's get that next reunion project happening. I want a different world. I don't know about y'all.
They
Let
did
us know
that.
what you want to see happen.
What do you think will be next?
I want Living Single. That's what I want.
Living Single, Living Single is probably the one that should come next. I can agree with that.
Let us know what you want to see in the comments below. All right, cool.
Boys,